Hello everybody, Cooper here from Brooks Production Studios, back at it again with another video apparently. It's 7:30 in the morning right now. I literally just woke up like an hour ago. Um, but I felt the need to sort of get this video out there because I was doing a lot of thinking yesterday about this whole thing, and I decided, you know what, my fan base needs to know what's going on with this project because I've been like radio silent for a while. But I decided to make like an official announcement both for you guys' sake and for my sake, so I don't have an excuse to procrastinate anymore because I don't deserve you at all. Last year I uploaded a video titled "The Five Nights at Freddy's Movie Completely Missed the Mark." It's probably one of my best videos I've ever made. I'm very proud of that video. It was a very successful video. It went up on Christmas Eve. I was not expecting it to get the recognition it got, but holy crap, that video got a lot of attention. It gathered a lot of my fans that I have to this day, and yeah, I'm just very proud of that video and the effort that went into it. And then a few months after, in February, I think it was February, I posted a teaser on my channel called Let Me Cook, but it was basically teasing the fact that I was rewriting the Five Nights at Freddy's movie according to the criticisms that I had made in my analysis video, and I just wanted to call some attention to that right now. My Five Nights at Freddy's rewrite is not canceled. It is not canceled. I am still moving forward with that project. In fact, I've already mentioned this before. The whole thing's been written. I just need to stop being lazy and actually make a video on it. It's just these past few months of my life have been sort of chaotic, and I've needed some time to adjust to the pressures of life again. But now that I'm sort of grounded a little bit more and I'm a bit more comfortable with the flow I've got going on, I'm definitely ready to hop back onto production regarding that video again because it has been a wild ride. Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm a huge fan. As all of you know, I dedicated a half an hour video to it on my channel. I talk about it nonstop. And the movie was just this monumentous occasion in my life, and it did not hold up. It did not hold up, in my opinion, to what I feel like everybody was expecting and what everybody deserved, I feel, in the FNAF fandom. I feel like we as the fans deserved more than what we got, so I decided to do something about it. So from January to April, I just spent my free time writing up the equivalent of a very compelling fan fiction, basically redoing the movie from scratch. I still kept the skeleton and like the basic plot structure from the real Blumhouse, but I pretty much changed everything surrounding it. I'm sure I already mentioned all of this in my comeback video, but I feel like it needs to be reinstated. So I finished it. I sent it out to a couple friends, and they really liked it. We still talk about it to this day. They're like, hey, I really like it. We'll talk about it at length. I'll express my guilt over not getting started on the video. They'll say, hey, dude, it comes out when it comes out. And they've just been very supportive. You know who you are. So thank you very much for that. But in regards to me actually getting started on the video, it has been a process, I'll tell you what. I meant to get started on it over the summer because I was going to release it on August 8th, which was the 10-year anniversary of FNAF. I'm sure you're all familiar. I was going to release it then. And then when that didn't pan out, I thought, okay, I'm going to release a little teaser for it on August 8th, and then I'm going to release the full thing on October 27th, the 1-year anniversary of the movie. I don't think that's going to pan out either. So right now I'm shooting for a release date of December 24th, which will be the 1-year anniversary which will be the 1-year anniversary of my initial video, my analysis video, Five Nights at Freddy's Completely Missed the Mark. So it'll sort of come full circle. I will have spent like a full year of my life dedicated to this one project, except not really. Let me sort of delve into specifics here. The original analysis video, the Five Nights at Freddy's movie Completely Missed the Mark, that took roughly 2 months to make. I spent pretty much all of November working on that, and then most of December, because it was uploaded December 24th. So that's like a month and something days. Let's just roughly call it 2 months. And then almost immediately after that, after Christmas was done, in January, I started on my rewrite, which, as I've stated before, lasted from January to April. That's 4 months, roughly 4 months, because I finished somewhere near the end of April. So that's roughly 4 months. And that was the entire process. That was brainstorming about what to change. That was analyzing the film for what it did wrong. That was me just spending so many sleepless nights thinking, like, is this good enough? What should I include here? Writing when I have free time. And just all the thought and effort that went into the rewrite, which I have. I have on my phone right now. I have a copy in Google Docs. I have it in my grasp right now. It's all here. And it took roughly 4 months to make. So you take the 2 months it took on the analysis video from November to December. That's 2 months on one video. You take the 4 months from January to April that I spent actually rewriting the darn thing, and that's 6 months, roughly 6 months asterisk, of my life dedicated to Five Nights at Freddy's. Needless to say, I was pretty exhausted afterwards. So I meant to get started in the summer, but honestly, my summer was just a break. Over the summer, I really got back into Jurassic Park again, which, as my longtime viewers know, is really like the root of my channel's Jurassic Park. I got a lot of my viewers and subscribers from my Jurassic World toy hunt videos. But I just started collecting again. Sorry, Raptor. Like this right here, Demon Carnotaurus. I wouldn't have thought this was possible for me to hold in my hands before friggin' the 4th of July. I bought this guy on the 4th of July. Can you believe it? So yeah, like, I just spent the summer not healing, but taking a break from Five Nights at Freddy's and the grind that had become associated with it, because I was tired. I'll say it. I was tired of Five Nights at Freddy's. I honest to God was. I think Lazy Purple said it best. If you don't know Lazy Purple, he's a TF2 YouTuber. He uploads like once a year. It's crazy. But Lazy Purple, and I'll probably play the clip.
This might sound like an obvious realization, but I think that 6 months is probably the upper limit of what anyone should spend on any project by themselves. After that point, the project gets so complicated with so many moving parts that it feels like working through quicksand.
And I think he was right. I really do, because Lazy Purple, he's a source filmmaker, animator. He's a full-time YouTuber, or at least he was. I don't know what he's doing now. God bless him. But he works hard for his stuff, and you know, he's a very dedicated person. Probably one of the best TF2 YouTubers to ever grace the platform. So I really took that advice to heart recently. I did a lot of thinking yesterday, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I wasn't lazy over the summer. Maybe that 2.5 month buffer was necessary to sort of recoup and not burn out of Five Nights at Freddy's, because I feel like if I had forced myself to work on that video over the summer, it would have felt more like an obligation. And when something you love, this is going into mental health, when something you love starts to feel like an obligation, that's when you know something's up. Because after a while, YouTube started feeling like an obligation. It did. So I took a break. Because I love you guys. I really do. I love you guys. I love making videos. I love editing videos. I love uploading videos. I really do. But when I started worrying, like, oh God, what's my next video going to be about? Oh crap, I got to get this out. Oh man, am I losing viewers? All this stuff. When I start worrying about all those external factors about what should be a hobby, that's when I know, okay, it's time to step away and sort of recoup for a little bit. And just to remind you, I'm still, like, I'm 18, but I'm still in school. I've still got other responsibilities outside of YouTube. Even though I love you guys, YouTube is not, like, my main focus in life right now. This is just a side hobby that I just adore. I'm in high school. I'm a senior. I've got to pay attention to grades, to other extracurricular stuff. I happen to be in theater. We're rehearsing for a play right now, so I've got to be on top of that. So it's just a lot of moving parts, you know. I meant to get started on this video back in August, but like I said, I went back to school in August, and that was sort of a buffer period where I was like, I gotta get adjusted to the school grind. But I've been at it for about a month now. I think I'm relatively back into the flow. It's not that hard. School in general is not that hard, so you know, it's fine. I definitely feel like I'm gonna be able to sort of allot my time better. I don't know if that makes sense. Like scheduling, I feel like I'm gonna be better at this year. Because before, with the rewrite during my last semester of 11th grade, at the beginning of this year, January to April, I sort of worked on it whenever I could, and that led to some inconsistencies. Like, I would write a lot one day, and then I wouldn't, like, for the rest of the week, and it sort of tore me up inside. So I feel like I'm definitely better at scheduling my time because I've learned from that. In regards to this video I'm going to make, which is still coming. I'm definitely going to start working on it. I definitely feel like I'll be able to manage my time and my productivity better, or at least I'm going to try to, because you guys deserve it. You guys deserve quality content, and I need to develop the skills necessary to allot my time better for not just YouTube, but for like a job or life in general. I feel like this channel is great practice for, you know, using skills that I'll need for the rest of my life, and I can't thank you guys enough for that. Let's talk about what I can actually tell you about my rewrite. I definitely addressed the major criticisms with the film, that being that you don't get enough backstory on the pizzeria itself. You feel disconnected from the characters at times, and most importantly, it wasn't scary. Five Nights at Freddy's, the movie, is not a scary movie. It's a PG-13 horror film that a lot of people class as a thriller, and they say, like, okay, well, it's a thriller. It's not really supposed to be scary. It's Five Nights at Freddy's. How can you get by making a thriller movie based on Five Nights at Freddy's? Like, it's horror. Come on. So during the writing process, I definitely kept that at the forefront of my mind. Like, this is a horror movie. I have to represent that. And I did. Trust me, I did. I definitely tried to elevate the feeling of horror, as well as the atmosphere in general. I feel like that movie is very lacking in atmosphere, and that's a big problem because the first game was very big on atmosphere. Like, you can just be scrolling through the cameras when nobody's active, and it's like 12 a.m. or something, and you still feel eerie because everything's monochromatic, everything's dark. You hear, like, the rumbling from the walls of this dilapidated building, the buzz from the light, the fan, just the ambiance in general created this very... You get what I mean. You get what I mean. The atmosphere in that first FNAF game, and the second and third one as well. I feel like Scott is just a master at creating atmosphere, even though he made those games on a whim. So that's another thing about my rewrite that I was very passionate about recapturing from the games, the atmosphere. The characters as well, I feel like I tried to understand who they were and what their ultimate goal was, because the characters in the original, like, you find a little flat. At least I did. I can't tell you about your taste, but I found, you know, Mike's sort of, you know, his motivations sort of flabby at times. Abby felt shoehorned in a bunch of the time. Aunt Jane was just a total joke. I should probably mention as well that not all of the characters who show up in the official movie show up in my version. I cut some characters, some pretty big ones. I won't say which ones, but I cut some pretty big characters from my version. I also added some characters from the games into my story. Again, I won't tell you which ones, you'll have to figure out for yourself, but I feel like my version more closely resembles a narrative akin to the games rather than a Hollywoodified schlock fest. I really feel like I definitely tried to recapture the game's magic while working off of the skeleton of the movie. That was my ultimate goal, and according to my friends' feedback who read it, again, you know who you are, I succeeded, I think. So I think you guys are going to like it. And another thing I wanted to touch on is the lore. A lot of people got pissy over the fact that the movie was so detached from the lore of the games. And while that's understandable from like a writing perspective, like, hey, we're presenting this to a bunch of new people who probably have never heard of Five Nights at Freddy's, we better make sure this is understandable for them. So I understand it would be disconnected from the lore a little bit. This movie feels too disconnected. Like, you've got Mike with Garrett, the dead brother, and all this other, like, mumbled up garbage. And the fact that the movie barely, like, touches the lore. As a matter of fact, we never hear of Fredbear's. We never hear of any other locations. We don't learn what Springlocks are until like halfway through. So it's very vague in its presentation. And I know they're probably going to build up more in the sequels, but like I hate when movies rely on sequels. I really do. So I will say in my rewrite, I definitely attempted to capture the lore of the games more accurately. Of course, I still did change some things. I did. I took some liberties with how things go down in the games and who's related to who and what happens. I did. I took some liberties, and I feel like you kind of have to, especially considering how convoluted FNAF lore really is. You definitely have to take some liberties. So I did, and I tried my best to still stay faithful while bringing out my creative take on it. I tried to make this a very audience-friendly FNAF. If you know FNAF, a lot of stuff's going to resonate with you, and you're really going to feel it. I felt it while writing it for sure. But I also tried to adapt it to the point where if you don't really know FNAF all that well, you can still get behind it. Because I feel like the real movie, it tried to meet that median, but it failed. It feels like such a disconnect from what people were expecting, at least to me. So I definitely tried to bridge that gap better, English Cooper. So yeah, I've just been, I want to say I was in a rut, but really I was just taking a well-needed break over the summer from the 6 months of my life dedicated to a singular IP. So the more I look back on it, yeah, that break was necessary. I'm sorry for leaving you guys for so long without content, but I feel like when I started pumping out content like in the middle of the summer, more related to Jurassic Park, I feel like that definitely sort of rejuvenated my creativity. So now I'm ready to hop into this thing full throttle. I cannot wait to get started on this video. So I just wanted to talk to you guys. I know these sort of sit down and talk videos don't get nearly as many views as my other ones, but I just wanted to sit down and say, hey, this video is still getting made. I wanted to tell you what I've been doing, and I wanted to reassure you that the final product I think you will enjoy tremendously. I'm going to get started on this video as soon as I can. And I can provide updates if you guys want consistent updates. I can tell you where I'm at, or if you want any other teasers regarding the story that I've cooked up, let me know. And just let me know what you guys want from the channel in general, because it's the viewers that truly contribute to the channel, because what you guys want to see is what I have to push out. So that sounded weird. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling before I say something stupid. Thank you guys for sticking with me for so long. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. And as always, I'll see you next time. Peace.